Okay, we're going to be putting the brake line on the rear upper control arm. You can see it's got a little bend in it as it comes down here like this. So first what you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to slide one of the bolts all the way down so it hits with the fitting at the end with the flare, and you're going to put it into the hole that is down there on that joint, and you're just going to move it a little bit just to make sure that you can move it in without getting cross-threaded. And we'll keep going around until we make sure it's not getting cross-threaded. And we'll hand tighten it down until it's pretty far in. We want to hand tighten it down so you can't tighten it anymore. And then what we'll do is we roll this bump up toward the top and maybe it down a little bit more toward the inside. And then what we'll have here is we have this one at the top, and we'll take this little fitting, and you'll note the brake line should be just a little shy of the bracket at the top. And what we'll want to do is we'll want to slide in the circular part of that bracket at the top, and as it comes in, you want to feel that it engages the flare inside before it bottoms out on the bracket. And so when you push it through, if it is actually pushing the brake line a little bit, that's not a bad thing. That means there's positive engagement on that flare. Then we slide the nut up once you have the positive engagement, and you basically hand tighten it in. And then we need a little clip. And so now that it's hand tightened in, we're going to take the clip and we'll come down from the top or from the outside, Mike?
Down from the top.
Down from the top. Okay. So come down from the top here, and we'll take, I prefer a hammer if you got it. A little ball peen. Great. Always be careful when hammering overhead. Not a good idea. I'm going to push it in there. A little tight. Got it seated by hand a little bit there. Okay, that's seated in. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn the brake line in toward the upper control arm, making sure that it's in as close as possible. Mike, give there we go. We got the flexible brake line, and we're going to take that flexible brake line. We got the little flare nut tool here, so we'll take this flare nut wrench, and we'll be down on, I think, the 3/8 end. And we're just going to use that to screw in a little bit, and we'll use a longer wrench to be able to hold on to the outside of the adapter. And so we'll tighten down. Again, you can always tighten it more later, so don't go too tight on it. And the same thing down at the other end. While you're listening to Big Band, tighten it down. Again, you can always tighten it up more later. And then we'll come up with the flexible brake line. And on this end of the fitting, we will hand tighten it in. And then we'll use, again, the 11/16 wrench to hold on to the adapter, while we use the 7/16 end of the flare nut tool to be able to tighten up. Again, you can always come back and tighten it more later. Give it snug. And then on this end, you're going to want to screw it in, like Mike has already done it there. And then you'll take the 7/16 end of the flare nut tool. And do you need the 11/16? Tighten that down, nice and snug. And once this fitting is in, other than your master brake cylinder and brake booster, your brake system is now inchoate. And that's it.